Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking. I'm dealing with a very interesting book which came to me at Richmond Green Chambers. This is actually the book itself. It's quite a heavy one. It's called Electronic Signatures and Identities, Law and Regulation by Lorna Brazell, and she's a solicitor from Bird and Bird. And this is a second edition by Sweet and Maxwell. It's an interesting book. It's quite a big one. You can see the way it's laid out, nice paragraph numbers at the side and so forth, and certainly very useful texts at the beginning and some excellent appendices at the back with a very good index. What I've done, that's the book anyway, and there's a little picture of it there. I'll leave it there. What I've done is I've written a number of reviews. It's only just recently come out, this book, and I've actually called the review Electronic IDs, A Taste of Things to Come. Now, it's not the first time that I have reviewed books concerning the law relating to signatures. I've had some interesting cases where, in fact, one guy I was acting actually for the against was saying that his signature was worth £700,000 and was trying to infer that the contract that he had entered into was a totally irrelevant contract because the money was small chicken feed money compared with the value of his signature on the contract. A load of rubbish, but he had about a few minutes in court before the judge threw the case out and awarded costs to me. The point is that signatures, like reputation, like identity, are very much the persona, the law about persona, and it has to be taken into the context of the Human Rights Act and, of course, our global considerations today. This book is a very interesting one in the second edition because, as I say in the comments I've made, IT lawyers, and remember that Lorna is actually an IT lawyer specialist, IT lawyers, academics, government officials at all levels, and certainly the business community, are going to find this book extremely valuable because it's about anyone who wants to know how to transmit signed documents via the internet. And it's very much a book for the future. And Bird and Bird, of course, are a leading firm of solicitors, and Graham Smith wrote the first foreword, and of course he's written Internet Law and Regulation, which is an excellent bestseller. As this title indicates, it's an analysis of the importance of signatures in both civil law and the common law system, and also how the principles have been applied to electronic signatures in recent years as IT has developed. It's a new emerging area of law, of course, and online commercial multiplies, of course, worldwide with all the activities that takes place. So we've become an increasingly complex global society. And as I say, Lorna Brazell points out that right at the beginning of the book, she says few areas of the law can have seen as much legislative activity worldwide in recent years as electronic commerce in general and the status of electronic signatures in particular. And that's the key. It's the start of the book, and that's the key to it. To sum it up, the internet is global and so's the book. Now, principal applications for online trading are also looked at in some detail. The book actually covers over 60 jurisdictions worldwide, and it reviews the overlap between electronic identities and signatures, based of course on the truism that your signature and your identity are tightly interwoven. It examines also, in a thorough and extensive manner, the issues and problems raised by electronic identities in data protection issues and, of course, the privacy of the individual, much of which we have obviously strong legislation for here in the United Kingdom. And obviously a major area of controversy at the moment is the introduction of possible identity cards. We shall have to wait and see what happens, obviously, with the general election in 2010. So this brand new second edition contains a wealth of current coverage of the new regulations, of case law, and the developments that have been taking place, because it's a fast-moving area, no question about that. It also clarifies legal technical and commercial issues which have emerged within this relatively new area of law, and I think that's a very useful thing for us to have. It's laid out for nice easy reference. There's a good glossary which defines both complicated terms in an uncomplicated matter, and is actually easy to use, as is the index and the 13 appendices, which form quite a bit of the back of the book. Obviously they do start off with the UN Citral model law, respectively, for electronic contracting and electronic signatures, which have been adopted by the General Assembly. And I think that's very useful, because it would be great if we could see the UN playing a bit of a stronger role in this. They've got a good role, but international trade law is an area that needs to be tightened up clearly. Do check out, of course, the useful websites that are listed here. Like I've said in many of the reviews I've done, the websites do change, so be careful. Obviously there are 60 nations worldwide covered here, so you've got a lot of online sources for text, material and everything else. Brazil and her team at Bird & Bird have provided in just one volume everything you need to know about electronic signatures in civil law in every worldwide jurisdiction. Graham Smith, who I mentioned earlier, who's also a partner at Bird & Bird, wrote in the first edition that the law of signatures has always had a whiff of technology about it, but the law should be simple. Regrettably, he said, this is going back a little bit now, the laws are not so simple, but Lorna has done the subject more than justice, and I think she's done electronic signatures law proud here, and it's well worth reading, because this is going to be a developing area for the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.